Demonstrators in Orlando and across the country are staging these die-ins and protests of the grand jury decisions in Ferguson, Missouri, and Staten Island, New York, and citing other cases where they feel there's racial injustice. They will tell you that they want equal justice under the law, which, of course, is what our system should be all about. But I'm really beginning to wonder if that's what they want, because it's getting to the point where cops are going to be saying, well, wait a minute, if I see a black person, particularly a young black man, doing something for which I think he ought to be arrested, is it even worth it? Maybe I'm supposed to look the other way or just go away. Because if I take the action that I believe needs to be taken, are we going to wind up with street protests all over the place? Is it ultimately going to cost me my job? Cause me to be vilified in the community? And where does that take us in the direction of equal justice under the law? I'm beginning to wonder, and I pose the question on the program here, if the end game of these protesters is something other than equal justice under the law, but it's a separate system of justice in which the cops are supposed to cut extra slack, particularly for young black men, when they believe they're engaged in illegal activity. That's not equal justice under the law. And now here in Orange County as we speak, and the details are still sketchy, but we'll follow both stories, Orange County and in Brevard County, we have a couple of men who have been arrested, shot and wounded by cops, involved in auto theft. Now, will these stories quickly be forgotten or never be forgotten should the race of the key players prove out to be white cop, black suspect? Then are we going to have marches in the street a la Ferguson here? Is this the way we're going to have, quote unquote, justice in America now? Every single time you have a white on black crime involving a white cop, we're going to have demonstrations, marches in the street, property damage, whatever. These are just some of the things that we're dealing with and we're talking about on the program here. And we need to begin to start thinking about what the end game is with all of these protests. The ultimate goal is equal justice under the law. I'm beginning to wonder if the end game really for the protesters is anything but that. That's what I think. What do you think? Join me for the next edition of Bud Hedinger Live right here on News Radio 102.5 WFLA. I'll look for you then.